There's hydrogen and helium, then lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon everywhere, nitrogen all through the air, with oxygen so you can breathe, and fluorine for your pretty teeth, neon to light up the signs, sodium for salty times, magnesium.
Welcome back. I hope you had a good Semana Santa, and I hope you're ready to get right back into our science class. All right, we've been talking, and we're going to be talking about geology, which is the study of the world. And as I was going through preparing these lessons, I remembered something that I should have remembered before this, and that is that most of you don't know where in the world you are. There are some days where if the weather is good, you can look across the bay and you can see some mountains. We call it the mainland. And I ask some kids every once in a while, I ask them, what's that land over there? And you know what? Most of them don't know. There was one girl who told me, oh, that's the Ceiba over there. She must think that all of those mountains are La Ceiba. La Ceiba is not a very big town. It's not. All of those mountains are not La Ceiba. I had another person tell me that that land over there was Guatemala, and another tell me that that land over there was Cuba. Do you know what that land over there is that you can see sometimes when the weather's good? That land over there is Honduras. You people don't know that Honduras is just a few miles away from here. You have no idea what that land over there is. So we need to talk about what makes the world real quick. Here's a map of the world. Can you find Roatan on there? Probably not. Roatan is a very, 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 very small piece of land. It doesn't show up on most maps. If you're wondering, it's right about there. But as you can see, the world is split up into different parts of land. I'm not talking about countries there. I'm talking about big chunks of land. There are 7 of these big chunks of land, and we call them continents. So let's take a look at what the continents are. This here is the continent that you live on. This is the continent of North America. The countries in it are Canada, Greenland, the United States, Mexico, and all the countries of Central America, including Honduras. So yes, this is the continent that you live on. Below that is the continent of South America. South America, almost all those countries down there are Spanish speaking, except that big one there in the middle, that's Brazil. They speak Portuguese, which is a little bit like Spanish. If you were to go there, you would probably be able to understand the people, because Portuguese is a lot like Spanish. But yes, those are the continents of North and South America. Now, in a lot of Latin America schools, they teach that those are all one big continent, which there's no reason why you can't say that. But we're going with the way that a lot of other schools teach. And that is that there are 2 continents, the continents of North and South America. We cross over the ocean now to Europe. Europe. See those little islands off the top there? That's England. And then down below we have Spain and France. So if you were going to cross the ocean, you would see Europe. And next to that is a really big continent, the biggest one there is, of Asia. Asia. There you see Russia and China and India and those other countries. We go down south again, and there's Africa. Africa. If you have black skin or very dark skin, your ancestors probably came over from Africa. And then down even more south from that is the smallest continent. That's Australia, home of kangaroos and koalas and people who talk like this, mate. Yes, that's how they talk in Australia, mate. G'day, mate. That's how they talk in Australia. And then down at the very, very bottom of the world is a continent that's made up of almost entirely of ice, and that is Antarctica. Antarctica. So, these are the 7 continents. Let's run over them again real quick. We have North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, and Antarctica. These are the 7 biggest chunks of land on Earth, and we call them the continents. Okay? Now, if we go back on our map of the world, we can see that most of it is covered by blue stuff. What is that blue stuff? No, it is not toothpaste. That's water. 2/3 of our world is covered by water. Yes, and we split those waters up into 4 oceans. And while a lot of you people here in Roatan don't know what land they're on, they also don't know what ocean they're on. Mr. Mark told me once that when somebody told him that the Atlantic Ocean was on one side of Roatan and the Pacific Ocean was on the other side of Roatan. That is not how that works. Okay, so let's take a look at the oceans of the world. This is the ocean that we live on, the Atlantic Ocean. If you were to cross the Atlantic Ocean from here, you would run over into Europe and Africa, the Atlantic Ocean. On the other side, not of Roatan, but of the Americas, is the Pacific Ocean, the biggest ocean in the world, the Pacific Ocean. If you were to cross over the Pacific Ocean from here, you would run into China or Japan or one of those countries over there. This ocean here is below Asia and between Africa and Australia. It's called the Indian Ocean. It is the warmest of all the oceans. And then down below that, where it gets really, really cold, is the Arctic Ocean. So did you catch all those? Let's go over them one more time. You have the Atlantic Ocean. That's where we live. It's the one that we live on. The Pacific Ocean, the Indian Ocean, and the Arctic Ocean. These are the oceans of the world that you live on. Yes, you live on the world. Get used to it. Us personally, Roatan is part of Honduras, which is part of Central America, which is part of North America. So we live in North America on the Atlantic Ocean. Okay? So now you have a little bit more of an idea of where you are in the world, and hopefully a little bit more idea of what you're doing in it. Okay, so that's our science lesson for today. Let's go over our questions real quick. Question number 1. Name the 7 continents. I hope you are paying attention, because I'm not going to repeat them because it'll be here because it's too long. So if you don't remember what they are, you can go. So real quick, let's go over our questions for today. Question number 1. Name the 4 oceans. Do you remember the 4 oceans? The Atlantic, the Pacific, the Indian, and the Arctic Ocean. If you don't remember how to spell those, go back and look at the earlier part of the video. Question number 2, same thing. Name the 7 continents. Do you remember what they are? Were you writing them down? I hope you were. They were North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, and Antarctica. And then question number 3, what ocean and continent do you live on? You live on Roatan, which is part of North America, and you live on the east side of it, so you live on the Atlantic Ocean. You live on the Atlantic Ocean on the continent of North America. Okay, you got that? You know where you are now? So if somebody points at the land over there, at the mountains over there, and says, what is that? What are you going to tell them? Hopefully you're going to tell them what it is, that over there is Honduras, part of North America. Okay? All right, well, that's all we have for today. Tomorrow, we have, what do we have tomorrow? We have more stuff about the world, and we'll talk about that tomorrow, why don't we? Yes, what an excellent way to end. Why don't we do that? All right, goodbye, and I will see you tomorrow.